It is 2 a.m. And you might be wondering, what are you doing, Kimberly? I am flying to the West Coast. And then the next question is going to be, why are you up at 2 a.m.? And that's the question that's good to ask. Well, how it goes when you fly from the East Coast to the West Coast is, my flight is at 7. It's at 7 a.m. However, you need to get to the airport 2 hours before your flight. So that's 5 a.m. And I take the shuttle to the airport because Lord knows I am not driving to Orlando and parking my car. I hear tales of people never seeing their car again. It's crazy. So I need to take the shuttle. In Central Oregon, a little town called Redmond, and it's snowing there, and the last I heard it was about 10 degrees. Hence, I'm bringing my coat.
Hi, how are you? I'm using American. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay.
Changing planes in Phoenix. The flight was about 5.5 hours. I've got about 20 minutes before I board here. Flight from here to Redmond is about 2.5 hours. I think it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my time. And I fast when I travel. So the only thing I've had today is half a cup of coffee and a little bit of water. And I'm really looking forward to Mexican food when I get to Oregon. So what's the first thing you do when you land on the West Coast after you travel for 14 hours, get up at 2 in the morning? You go have Mexican food, which is what we're doing. I'm so excited. You can't get decent Mexican in Florida. This is my friend Candia. Say hello.
Hello there. They're pretty. They're gorgeous.
My girlfriend that I'm staying with here in Central Oregon is a psychic and a medical intuitive, and the girl has some mad skills. She's really, really good at what she does. However, in addition to all of that, she also has an art background, which is another, connection that she and I have. And I'll tell you what, her home is an artist's dream. I have literally been walking around fascinated with every nook and cranny. She has so much incredible artwork and beautiful pieces of pottery. I thought it would be fun for me to show you around her home. She's playing pickleball right now, but I have her permission, and you can see what I've just been fascinated with since I got here. It's been snowing, a little snowstorm in Central Oregon, so we had some flurries, and yesterday we had a little bit of rain. But even though it's in the 30s, it doesn't feel very cold. And this is just a little peek at the cozy, cozy home that Candia has put together. And all the little details throughout the house are so stunningly beautiful. It's been such a treat for me to walk from room to room and see what she's collected. As you walk in the front door, you're greeted by this Native American print, which is absolutely stunningly beautiful. So that's the first thing you see as you walk in. Honestly, every time I turn around, I'm finding something new and fascinating. And then into the dining area, and I think this piece of artwork here is just stunning. The colors are spectacular. The composition is superb. It's just gorgeous. And I know it has a reflection in the glass. You can see the snow out back. But isn't that so pretty? And then that maple frame. Oh, I just love this. She's also added a collection of deco lamps in here. So she has 2 table lamps and then a floor lamp as well that are matching. Just really a nice touch for the decor. More deco work in here with the lamp. And again, crystals and candles throughout the house. Such a beautiful touch. You know, I have to say I am looking forward to finally finding my forever home, whenever that's going to be, and being able to decorate with so much warmth and thoughtfulness and just creating a space that feels absolutely delicious. I wanted to show you this. This is actually in her bathroom, believe it or not. This is a photograph, and it is, I believe, of an area in, I don't know if it's Oregon or Canada, but it's about 80 or 90 years old. And the reason I love this so much is this is back when you really had to know how to shoot, because there wasn't the back-end technology to adjust the photograph. You had to be able to light and shoot and know what that camera was going to do. I think this is just a stunning piece. And then there's another one over here of the buffalo, and that's an original piece, an original photograph from, this one's probably 90 years old. Isn't that just, it's so good. I'm so glad she bought these because now we all get to enjoy them. The last thing I want to show you is her office. This is where she does all her appointments, and most of her appointments are, you know, people are in other states or other countries even. But I want to have you take a look at this bookshelf. It goes all the way up to the ceiling. Isn't this wild? I just love that. I mean, this is so cozy and homey, and books that have really been read and really collected. So much fun. My girlfriend does not drink coffee, which I don't understand. I don't understand at all. But she does drink tea. So when we were talking about my trip here, I said, you know, do you drink coffee? No. Okay. So I said, that's not a problem. I said, wait a minute, do you even have a coffee pot? And she said, no. So not a problem. What I did is I hopped on Amazon and ordered a, you know, inexpensive $20 coffee pot and had it sent to her house. It was supposed to get there like 2 days later. I was getting there 4 days later. Well, Amazon did me dirty, and the coffee pot is not arriving until like the afternoon of the day before I leave. So no coffee pot for me. But what I've been using is one of these little things. And what you do is you put a coffee filter in here, and you kind of have to mush it down and make it fit. And then you know, put a couple of teaspoonfuls of coffee in here, which is what I've done, pour hot water over it. And you know what? It works great. It works great. I thought, how is that even going to happen? But it works great. So this is what I brought with me. I ended up bringing my own coffee because I didn't want her to have to run out and get coffee. And then I can just leave this here. So it will be here if I come back for a visit. So I use the cast brew coffee, the Appalachian Nights. Love, love, love it. This is a good one. You can get it online. And then I also brought my ChagaNOW, which, you know, I'm really, really trying to support my immune system because I've been so very sick. So I put one of the little spoons, they have the tiny little spoons that come with this. I put 1 spoonful of that in my coffee, my first cup of coffee. I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and it's been great. And then for the evening, I brought my Jupiter CBD oil, which, you know, I always have. And then I brought my Pure Sleep. And then I mix this with like half water, half organic, unsweetened coconut milk, and put a little bit of honey in it. So that's kind of my little setup in the morning. So I've got the water heating up over here, and I've got my little cup, just like this. Let me see if I can move you guys so you can see better what I'm doing down here. There. I'll move this over here. There we go. So I've got my little filter. If you don't drink coffee and you have friends that come and visit, this could be a really great little alternative. So I'm just going to shove that right down in there. And then I've been putting in 2 spoonfuls of coffee. I like my coffee a little strong. So 1 and 2. If you haven't used one of these, I think you're going to be surprised at how well it works. So my water's getting hot here. And then it just filters through just like a drip coffee maker, only it's like a single cup. I bet you can get these things off of Amazon for a few dollars. I'll look it up. If I can find one that I think is worth it, I'll link it down below. I'm just going to put a little bit more water in here. And then I just let it filter all the way through. And when it's done, I lift this up and put it in the trash. Piece of cake. Coffee problem solved. So the plan for today is Candy and I are going to have a Rife session. And if you're not familiar with a Rife machine, I'll kind of fill you in here. You guys know I am not a fan of Western medicine. I never have been. This is not a new thing. This has been a lifetime thing. And I've always felt that more holistic alternative forms of healing were better for me and more effective. So Rife is actually an energy healing modality, and it was first developed by a man by the name of Royal Rife. Hence the name Rife machine. So Rife machines are frequency healing, frequency medicine, and you can dial in different frequencies to work with different issues in different conditions. And actually, for those of you who follow me on my other channel, Journey to the New Earth, you guys will know Penny Kelly. She has a Rife machine, and when I was really, really sick, she energetically put her Rife machine on my energy system, and it really helped. So I realize that's a little bit out there for some of you, but some of you will get it. You'll go, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. So anywho, Candia knows a gal who has a Rife machine here locally. So that's where we're going today. We're going to go for a Rife session. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to meet her because she's just a cool lady. And I'll show you the machine. We'll talk with Allison, the gal that's going to be doing it, and learn a little bit about it. And I just thought it would be fun and you might enjoy seeing it in action.
So all the ruckus is out of here?
Shut the door.
But it's gonna be.
Bye, you guys. We're filming.
Can you take the dog?
Come in when you're done?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
So I am here with Allison and the Rife machine, and this is awesome for me because I have heard about them for a long time. I've never actually seen it. This is Allison. Say hi.
Hi there.
Can you just, for you know, the uninformed like me, can you just sort of give us the cliff notes on what this is and how you actually determine a treatment for someone and what you're looking for?
Yeah, so frequency healing is all on the idea of resonance, kind of like the opera singer with the wine glass, right? So the wine glass has a resonant frequency, and when you match it, it shatters the wine glass. So the idea is you can do the same thing with microbes or parasites or different pathogens, bacteria and viruses. So that's the gist of it. This particular device right here, this is from Switzerland, and there's software that goes with it. And basically what we do is we do a 45-minute or 45-second scan to see what resonant frequencies are in the body that are pathogenic. And the pathogenic resonance shows up on the graph. So this is a scan I did of myself last night, and I wasn't feeling very well. And in this part of the scan, this was a influenza. So I went back and I was able to treat the influenza, and I felt a lot better after I did it.
Okay, so my question, that really hits to my question. So you're able to do a scan to determine what the issues might be, and then there's different programs within the machine that then you can select the program that that corresponds with the issue.
There's a lot of different ways to run it. So this way is doing a pathogen scan, and then we treat the pathogens we find. There's also just healing programs for any kind of medical condition that you could possibly have, and there's frequency values associated with those. And you could just run like something for neuropathy or migraines or even hangovers. There's a program.
Okay, so how does the patient, in this case is me, how do they get treated? Is this you hold on to these, or?
Yeah, so to do this scan, it's basically a finger clip. So this just goes on the right hand, and then you hold, this is called an electrode bar. And so this does the scan, and then once we've determined what frequency values we're going to treat, then we just switch the cords, and then a different component plugs into the machine, and then you go into the treatment phase.
Cool.
And so you just gently hold these two electrode bars in your hand.
Oh, so you don't lay down or anything?
No.
Wow.
There's a lot of different types of Rife machines. Some are plasma based, and they basically create a field in the room. The Pearl machine does that.
Okay.
It creates like a 30.
There's a lot of different, I looked online, there's a lot of different Rife machines. It's like, how did you decide which one you wanted?
I found a practitioner here in Central Oregon that was already using this one, and he was able to train me on it because it's kind of, this one's a little more cumbersome, I'd say. It's not like plug and play, but I really like the diagnostic ability on it and thought that was really interesting. So the Pearl Rife machine is really popular, but it's, I think price point starts at like $7,500 to $10,000.
A little more spendy.
And
so,
they're beautiful, amazing machines. But
yeah. So Allison just does this for personal home use, and then, she's very kind to let friends in and that sort of thing. So I'm going to get started with it, and I'll let you guys know how it was when I'm done. It is time for me to pack up and head home. I had such a good time here and did so many fun things. So this is what I packed for my trip, and I'm like color coordinating or choosing a color palette when I pack now. So this is kind of my neutral palette when I travel. This way everything goes with everything else. And I actually did a packing video a couple months ago, and I'll link it down below, where I talk about how I really think I've kind of finally figured out how to pack efficiently on a trip. So these are the clothes that are going to go back in the suitcase, and I am using these little packing cubes where you put them in the bag and then you roll the bag up and it gets all the air out and makes, the clothing a lot smaller. The other thing I wanted to show you guys are these shoes, and I have talked about them before. These are Skechers. And this was actually the only pair of shoes I wore the whole trip. Because I'm in kind of a colder, snowier climate, these were super. I wore them on the plane.
They have zippers on the side, so they're easy to take on and off in TSA. They're super comfortable, and you know, they're grippy on the bottom, but they also sort of look, you know, nice. They don't look like hiking boots or clunky boots. This is the second pair of this pair of boots that I have owned. I had one pair, then I went traveling out of the country, so I got rid of them. And when I came back to the country, I got another pair. I actually got these when I was living up at Lake Tahoe, and I still have them. So if you're looking for just a really handy pair of boots that look okay, I can really recommend these. I obviously like them because I bought two pair. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything stuffed into these bags and get packing. Here are the two little packing cubes with my clothes. And you can see it really does create a very, very more condensed, you know, packing environment when you use these. These are super cheap. You can get them off of Amazon. I think they come in packs of 5. I think I have 10 just because I've accumulated them over the years. Really, really easy to work with, inexpensive, and they make a heck of a difference when you're trying to stuff a lot of clothes into a small little carry-on. I'm at the airport getting ready to head home. This is the tiniest little airport on the planet, I'm pretty sure. And I love tiny airports. They're so friendly and easy and quiet. So it makes the start of the trip really nice. So how do I get home? It's a long process. It's actually about 11:30 a.m. Wednesday in the Pacific Northwest, and I will get home around 3 a.m. Thursday morning on the East Coast. It takes a long time because I fly from here to Denver and then Denver to Orlando. And once I get to Orlando, I have to wait about an hour and a half for the shuttle to pick me up. And then the shuttle takes a couple of hours because I'm not the only one on the shuttle. It kind of goes from house to house to house. So it's a long, long hoof for me to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm getting too old for it. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this fun and entertaining to see a little bit about my travels and the things that I do to make it a little bit easier, a little bit more pleasant, and do interesting things when I'm gone. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys know it just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that. And oh my gosh, I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.